Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I just heard the sounds of peace. And by peace, what I mean is, I think the rain has stopped. It has been pouring down rain all day in Indianapolis today. Little Boo Radley has been absolutely terrified. He hates the lightning. He hates the thunder. It scares him so much. He is finally right over here, resting very gently next to me. He's been like digging in the bed. And he's just now resting. I think he might be like out for the night because he has been a nervous wreck all day today. You know, it's interesting. If you have a pet that is disturbed by storms, and people have recommended things to us for years, you know, the thunder coats, the thunder jackets, those don't work for Boo Radley. Other things, people have sent me things to use. I've tried them, they don't work. You know, it's interesting in watching little animals and how they are with storms and stuff like that. And I have to tell you, what's interesting is, if Boo Radley is outside, like in the middle of a thunderstorm, he loves it. He runs around in the rain. It can thunder as much as it wants outside. The lightning can be going off. He's not scared when he's in it. He's scared when he's inside and he can like hear the thunder and he doesn't understand what it is. You know, it's like rumbling the house and he doesn't understand what it is. Or if he's laying in bed and the whole house is, you know, pitch black at night, and all of a sudden the lightning, like, you know, crashes, and he can see it, you know, go across, like, the bedroom, like, you know, the ceiling in the bedroom, and, like, the light, like, scares him. It's only then. It's like when he's out in his natural element outside, the storm doesn't scare him at all. The wind, you know, the thunder, the rain, like, he loves all of it. Snow, Boo Radley loves the snow. It doesn't bother him at all. It's only when he's inside and he doesn't understand it, you know, in that context. I think that's interesting and maybe how we look at things in life, that maybe we don't understand things because we only see them from one perspective or from one point of view, you know, that if in that moment, I mean, little animals can't understand it. You can't say to them, well, we'll go outside. I mean, even when I take him outside, you know, in the middle of the thunderstorm and he runs around, he comes back inside, and when he's in the bed and the thunder goes off, he's scared again. It's a different, you know, response. And I think that that is probably very much in how we look at the world as well, don't you think? And that we look at the world in how our responses and our perspectives to things are different depending on where we're at or how we are or who we're with and things like that, you know, and maybe how safe we feel in that moment. It's kind of an interesting way to look at things. So anyway, I wanted to come on here today and read some meditations, since I didn't read any meditations yesterday, and that was my plan. I thought I would start with the Melody Beatty Journey to the Heart today, since I haven't read from here in quite some time. Let's go over here and see. Here's a new chapter for April. April 1st, yesterday was Learn to Clear Your Path. And today it is, April 2nd, Discover the Power of Meditation. Can you guys believe it is April 2nd already? I did this Q&A on my drama channel, and like one of the most asked questions was, do you think the pool is going to open early? So today it's supposed to be 70 in Indianapolis, which I think is partly why there's like a lot of storms and stuff. And then it's supposed to get very cold the next 2 days, and like possibly even some snow. And then it's supposed to get back up warm again and be like in the upper 60s and lower 70s for like the next 2 weeks, starting like this weekend. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so cool, because maybe the pool will open early. Not in April. It's not going to open in April, but okay, April. But it seems so weird that it's already April 2nd, doesn't it? Like, it feels like the year is just going along so quickly. April 2nd, Discover the Power of Meditation. I saw Spirit Rock Center, a meditation center, as I drove along the highway in Northern California. I turned in the parking lot and watched as people moved about the grounds very slowly. They were practicing a walking meditation. Meditation teaches us to relax, to connect with our body, to let spirit and body become one. Many of us spent years abandoning ourselves, our emotions, and our bodies. We've been present for others, and now it is time for us to stay present for ourselves, fully and completely. Meditation helps us leave our routine for a bit and slow down. We deliberately exhale stress, tension, and fear. Then we inhale light, beauty, peace, and love. We slow our minds and slow our bodies until we reach that quiet place. Meditation can renew us and help us return to our lives refreshed. Meditate Take time to inhale peace and exhale fear. Then take your meditation back to your life. Walk slowly. Stay present for yourself more fully and completely than ever before. You too can turn your life into a walking, waking, deliberate meditation. Oh, I love that. You know, I've had an interesting relationship with meditation throughout the years. And actually, this is probably why I read these books. I don't know that I've ever really explained this other than just saying that I love these books and I got them as gifts. I mean, not just these two books, but all the daily affirmation books that I have and my mother gave me and my dad and my stepmom gave me and friends of mine gave me through the years and Tanya and I shared with each other and, you know, my sponsors have given me and things like that. I can remember being early in recovery and this idea of talking about prayer and meditation, and I understood prayer, you know, although I don't know that I understood it as fully as I do today, the listening part. I understood the talking to God part. I understood the asking God for things. Well, when I first got sober, I didn't understand God at all. I didn't really have any God concept. That didn't come till 2 or 3 years down the road. Really, I didn't start that journey until 2 years down the road, and I can share that journey if you guys want to hear it, but I've shared it many times. But that was really when my journey for a higher power started. I knew that I believed in something, I just wasn't sure what. But this whole idea of prayer and meditation, I can remember in early sobriety, you know, having my sponsor say to me at the end of the day, get down on your knees and say thank you. And in the morning, get down on your knees and say help. That was about as deep as prayer could get for me. And today I know that prayer is a lot about listening and less about talking. Listening to things around me and what the world is telling me, what my higher power is telling me. My higher power speaks through other people to me a lot, which is really, really important. And so I have to listen to what other people say. And so listening for me is a really important part of prayer today. I never really understood meditation. I thought, you know, meditation was like this kind of art of Zen meditation, which that is one part of it, you know, or one area of it. But I didn't understand if that's really what they meant in recovery. I thought in recovery they meant like, get down on, you know, like sit, you know, on the floor and be very relaxed and not have a thought in your mind to reach, you know, this inner peace. And I could never get there. I could never get the thoughts out of my head, right? And so I remember getting all these books, and in going through all the books in the basement recently, these were some of the books that I actually saved, which were like, the Tao of Pooh and, you know, some book about, Taoism and meditation through The Wizard of Oz. I mean, like, I really needed it, like, dumbed down and simplified it for me on a very beautiful level. And I still never got it. Like, I still could not get it, you know, and I had friends of mine that were, you know, doing, all this kind of like, going to these like Buddhist temples, and they were finding that, and that was like at the time that I got sober, that was, you know, a lot of people were looking into that and things like that. I didn't get it. I just did not get it. I couldn't get it at all. And, you know, my mother was somebody that was very interested in Eastern religions as well. In fact, one of her favorite books was a book called Living Buddha, Living Christ, and it was about how Buddha and Christ were very similar in ways. It was one of my mom's very favorite books about, my mom was very educated and well-versed about religiosity and spiritual belief. And so, different world religions as well, she was very well-versed on. And so, I just didn't understand it. I didn't get it, you know? And I remember when I came back in from not going to meetings for several years, and I was listening to a speaker lead online, which is where somebody shares their story. And this woman was sharing the story about how she had met this other woman on the beach, and they were both sober. And the woman said something about, like, your lack of being willing to allow your higher power in is like holding an umbrella on the beach. Like, you're not allowing the sunlight of the spirit in. Like, you're blocking it off because you have to figure it out. So you have to so finitely figure out what your higher power is. And she said to the woman, "What do you mean?" And she said, "There isn't going to be any one definition for you, but whatever is out there is bigger than you, for you is bigger than you will ever understand or be able to comprehend. And that for me was like the one thing that really sealed the deal for me. I was like, wow, that's so powerful. Like anything that's out there that is bigger than me is going to be harder. I'm not going to be able to understand it. How could I possibly, you know, like, I mean, I'm an ant compared to all of that. And so then that allowed me to just kind of give it up. Then I had a friend of mine that was much older that has since passed, and we were talking about meditation one day. I've been friends with him for years. I don't know why. This was the first time we'd ever talked about it. And I was talking about, I never really understood prayer, like the prayer part I could get behind, but meditation I never really understood. And that was why I went to a lot of these books, because these books were considered daily meditations, daily affirmations. You read them. That was how you could like meditate for the day. You'd find some peace and whatever. And he looked at me and he goes, you know, when they first got sober, that they meant meditation, they translated it into deep thought. And I go, what? And he goes, when they first got sober, the reason why they used the words prayer and meditation, they used the word meditation, was that at that time, meditation didn't have the same connotation necessarily in Western culture that it does today. Like, it didn't have this, what you're talking about, you know? It had the idea of just sitting down in silence and deeply thinking about things. Like, that's what they meant. And he goes, do you not have the ability to sit down and shut your mouth and deeply think about things? And I was like, no, I do have the ability to do that. He was like, these books that you like to read, these meditation books, these positive affirmation books, they're cues to give you things to think about. And I was like, oh, wow. And he was like, that's what meditation is for us. He was like, yes, there's the meditation of completely, you know, ridding your mind of any thought and just eliminating it and just being completely like at peace and one. And he goes, and that's great if you can get there. He goes, but that's a completely different definition of what you're talking about and what we're talking about. He goes, we're talking about to deeply think about things, to really ponder and think about things in your life. That's really what that means, to really think about, what does God want for us? What does God want us to do? What does God want us to do in these situations? To take the prayer and then deeply think about it. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense to me. I never really had understood it that way before until it was explained to me that way. So that's how I see meditation today. That's what meditation is to me today. And these books are just cues for me to give me things to think about on a daily basis. So anyway, that was kind of a good meditation. I don't know that I've ever really shared that specifically over here, how that all went for me. So anyway, yeah, I like that meditation. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.